Hey everyone, and welcome to Convos with Cunningham, streaming on KFES Streaming. I'm Jeff Cunningham, joined today with Wade Owens, who is, for those who don't know, a local car aficionado. Wade and I have done a couple stories together, and we're going to talk about a cool event that Wade's helping to organize. It's coming up this weekend. We want to help get the word out about that. But Wade, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited about it. So
tell folks first, you've got a cool shop that I've been to there in Fruitland. Tell folks the name of it and a little bit about it.
yeah, so Customs and Classics is the name of our shop, and we've been in business about 9 years now. And I now have 10 employees, and we're working on about 12 or 13 cars at one time. And we do full restorations, and then we also do a lot of mechanic work on the older cars. I try to keep things 72 and older if I can, but we do have, occasionally we'll have people ask us to work on something a little newer, and we will do that, but we like the old stuff. It's what we like to do.
Yeah, well, I love them too, and people probably know I love cars. I love all that kind of stuff. I don't have as much knowledge as you do, but I can't fix them. I can drive them,
yeah,
but that's about it.
Yeah.
When I was there, you had, just for an example, you had a GTO Judge sitting out front. You had a Camaro you guys were working on, a Bronco that you're putting a Coyote engine in. What do you got going these days?
We still have a lot going on. We actually have 2 more GTOs in the shop. We have a 66 hardtop, and we have a 67 convertible. That gentleman's owned that car for 45 or 46 years, and he finally decided that he wanted to have the car done. He wants a top-tier restoration.
Is it a local guy?
He's retired from Boeing. He's from St. Louis area, and he's been a great guy to work with. Dan's a fantastic guy, and he wants it perfect, and we like doing that kind of work. So we're just about a week or two maybe away from painting that car, and it's going to be a really nice car. Could possibly be the nicest car to come out of our shop.
Really?
We want to actually enter some competitions with that car and compete against these guys on a larger stage. And so I already signed us up to go to Detroit next year, to Detroit Autorama. That's one of the big shows, indoor shows. And after going there this year and spectating and looking at the cars there, I feel like the quality of work that our shop does can compete with anybody in the country. We just happen to be right here in the Midwest.
Well, I've seen it up close, and it's awesome. What's the favorite car to work on? Do you like Pontiacs the most, or?
Actually, you know,
I know you're a Chevy guy.
I do like Chevrolets only because as everybody knows, the parts are cheap. You can get more for your money when you buy that sort of stuff. But down deep, I'm a Mopar guy. My dad was, my uncle was, and they actually started racing at Malden when I was really little. And so both of them had Chryslers, and that's where my love is at. But honestly, I don't dislike any of them. I love Ford Fairlanes, and I love, of course, the GTOs, and I like Buicks. You know, every one of them had a really nice car and a car that was capable of beating anything from the other manufacturer. So I like that. I like the variety. I like the differences in the cars, like the GTOs with the stacked headlights and things like that. That's all cool stuff to me, because the manufacturers back then, they didn't really care that their car looked just like 5 or 6 other manufacturers. They wanted their stuff to be noticeably different. And as you know now, if a car is silver, you can't hardly tell what name brand it is. They're all the same. Well, we didn't have that problem in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for those who don't know, Mopar is Dodge, right?
Yeah, Dodge
Chrysler,
Plymouth. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Mopar stuff has just gone through the roof these last, 20 years or so, because they weren't as popular back in the 60s and 70s as Mustangs or Camaros and stuff. So they're more rare. But those Barracudas, I remember one of those Barracudas, it was like the first car to sell for over $1 million or something.
Absolutely. I used to work for Roger Gibson, and Roger's been a great mentor to me and taught me a lot. And I actually got to work on those $1 million cars at Roger's place. And it's so hard to believe, when those cars started going up in value, They would go from 70,000 to 180,000 to 240,000, and then all of a sudden they made a jump to $1 million car. The convertibles.
Yeah.
And so
That was a Barracuda, right?
they were Cudas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were Cudas. And 71 is the really rare year. They only made a handful of those, and single digits, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think 9 or 10 is all they made in 71, something like that. And so the 70s aren't quite that expensive to buy, but they're still way up there. Anything that has a Hemi in it it's an expensive car.
Well, I understand. It's funny. I did a story with Roger. I think I told you this before, but years ago, he had a Dodge Viper. And just to show you tell people, you know this already, but tell people how far we've come. At the time, that Viper had a 400 horsepower V12. My Mustang that's in the parking lot now has a 420 horsepower V8.
Yeah.
But I remember Roger going, it's only 2-seater, so it was me and the photographer. His name was John Morgan. And Roger said, now be careful. It can get away from you, which it could.
Yeah.
I mean, 400 horsepower is a lot.
Yeah.
But now, we're in the 900 horsepower range for a lot of these cars.
Completely drivable. 900 horsepower Challenger. You pull out onto the interstate and you turn the air conditioning on, and the thing knocks down 24, 26 miles to the gallon. It's just unbelievable.
It is nuts.
I like the old stuff. I'm an old soul, so to speak. But I can see why people are in love with these new engines and stuff, and why they want them placed into these older cars.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of people do the LS swap, right? And the Coyote.
We do quite a few of them there at our shop. So yeah.
Well, let's again, we're going to get to this event here in just a second, but I had a lot of fun doing the story with Wade. I forgot how long ago it's been now. Has it been
a couple years?
Has
probably.
It been that long?
Yeah.
We did the Dragon Wagon. That's what I called it. It's a
67
Impala station wagon.
Yes.
Drag car that was street legal.
Yes.
And I mean, it was awesome to drive. But since then, you've swapped the engine for something even bigger, right?
Just like everything else, things evolve. I actually was fortunate enough to find a ZL1 block, which is a rare Chevrolet aluminum block. And I thought, that's the perfect home for that in the station wagon. So I sourced some original GM heads, and we built it just as if it was a drag car in 1969. And so 2 carburetors on it, still just like the small block had. And we actually did a drag and drive with that again last year. We drove it 2,000 miles last year with that engine in there. And for people that know drag racing, the fastest it went was 811 in the 8th.
Wow.
And that's 4,475 pounds with me in it.
Yeah.
So
it's a grocery getter.
It's 9 passenger, and
it's red.
And it's bright red, because we want to make sure people see us with
it.
They
see it.
But people really love that car.
Well, it's a great car.
And it's just we did it because it's different. And on the drag and drives and stuff, people did videos. Things all over YouTube. And people did videos of it, and they interviewed us and all of that sort of stuff. And but the most fun I have with it is not really the racing part of it. It's just the driving it. Because when we do the drag and drives, we go to a drag strip, we make runs, we come back, we load all of our tools. We have to carry everything with us. We load all of our tools, and I have a small trailer. We hook the trailer to it, and we drive 150 or 200 miles to the next track. And then we make runs at the next track. So that ended up being 2,000 miles this year.
Now, do you have to do anything to it when you get there? Do you have to detune it?
Well, we sure hope not. But last year was a struggle. It fought me in between every single track. I was broke down, so to speak, and I had to work on it. The small block in there, we did 3,000 miles with the small block in there. When you drove it, had the small block, and it didn't break down, but just one time at the very beginning, one minor thing, and we drove it 3,000 miles with no problem. Well, then I have to go faster, which means more problems. So, but it actually done really well. I got all the way back home with it. Didn't have to call a tow truck, and I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah.
But I would like to say that I really appreciate my guys, because I can't go and have that fun without having a really good crew. And my guys are as talented as any shop in the country, and I think our work shows that. But they also have a big heart. And when I've asked them for help, Not one of those guys has ever denied staying late or coming in on a Saturday or whatever I've asked of them, they've done it, and that means a lot to me. So,
Yeah, well, you got a great shop, and I mean that's got to be very rewarding to have good employees like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Drag Week. This is Thursday, the 30th, right?
Yep.
Today? And tomorrow's the 1st, and that's when Drag Week.
Ours is actually called the Grit Speed Challenge.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right.
And so, and what we're going to do is it actually kicks off tonight at Lawless Harley Davidson.
Okay.
And Kaylee's been kind and helped us do the kickoff, and we'll have a live band there tonight, and there'll be food trucks and all the stuff, and there'll be bikes and cars there tonight. And everybody's invited. We want you to come out, and we want you to have fun. That's what this is about, is just like-minded people getting to be around other like-minded people, I guess you'd say. So
Well,
tonight,
let's go over it.
so tonight kicks it off.
Okay, go ahead. And then tomorrow, tell us about tomorrow, tell us
Okay.
about Saturday, and then.
All right. So tomorrow we have what we call the dirty drags. So dirt drags used to be a really, really big deal in the 40s and 50s. So that is actually starting to make a comeback. And so
What is a dirty drag?
Okay, so basically what that is, it's a hard-packed dirt, sand-type material that you drag race on for 300 foot. And guys with motorcycles, bobber motorcycles, vintage cars, and vintage is 1948 and older. So vintage cars, all of that, they race on this hard-packed dirt. And most of the time it's for glory. I've got trophies for my people who win our classes.
Is it because it's easier on the car?
It was just a thing. I'm not sure why it originally started as being a 300-foot deal. I don't know that.
I meant the
but
surface.
the surface is it is a little bit, because when you have a tire that dead hooks against the asphalt, that's a pretty hard shock on everything, from the axles to the U-joints and transmission and everything. This is a softer takeoff. So, but it's not a fluffy kind of soft dirt. We have it packed in really tight, so they'll get traction and they'll be able to accelerate. But it is easier on things than the asphalt is. And a lot of the guys that run these events, these dirt drag events, they travel a long ways. I have a gentleman that left California on last Friday, and he drove his coupe out here for us. And,
What is it?
30. I'm pretty sure his is a 34. And so he does all different forms of racing with his coupe. And he's been to Bonneville with it and raced it at Bonneville. This coupe's been in the magazines. It's a pretty famous car. He's a great guy. And Judy Watson, who they used to own Poly Eyes here in town, Judy and Mark. Judy is a dear friend of mine. She's like an older sister to me.
And she's got a vintage
and
car.
she does.
Yeah.
And so she's
I tried to do a story with Judy. It didn't work out. But
she travels a lot.
Yeah.
So
With the car.
With the car.
Yeah.
And I think she put 12 or 14,000 miles on that car.
And what is it again?
That was a 32 sedan that she had.
Yeah.
And a stick shift, because she's a car girl.
Yeah. And she races it.
And she did. She
Yeah.
raced it on the dirt. She done Colorado hill climbs. They went to Amelia Island. They shipped the car to Europe, and she was at Goodwood. I mean, it's a famous car.
Yeah.
And
That's fun.
I was just fortunate enough to be able to be the caretaker of it while she was out of town and help her with a few things. But she helped me, and she talked to these people who are kind of exclusive. They're an exclusive club, the Rolling Bones. They're from New York, and they build period correct hot rods. And so Dennis, the gentleman that's driving out from California, his is from one of the Rolling Bones. And we also have some people coming up from Oklahoma with their cars. Those are Rolling Bones cars. And so if you've never seen these cars, they are built 100% like they were in the 40s. So when our guys came
When
back
hot rodding kind of started.
when hot rodding started. So when these guys got back from the war, and they knew what they wanted. They wanted a flathead in a 34 or a 32 or whatever. So these guys, the Rolling Bones, build those cars in exactly that style and fashion, and they're really, really cool. It is a traditional hot rod, and so not a lot of people do that anymore. There are some people out there. I see some YouTube channels and stuff, and those guys do some pretty neat work. But the Rolling Bones are the upper echelon of all of that.
Right.
So.
Okay, so that's cool. So then
Yep.
that's tomorrow. Tell
That-
us a little
yeah.
bit about what's going on Saturday.
Okay, so actually tomorrow we have this going on. The times are pretty much like any time at the drag races. 8 o'clock we open. 10 o'clock we'll let the guys start making time trials and stuff. Somewhere around noon to 1 o'clock or so, we're going to go into elimination, so to speak. Tomorrow is just really a fun day. We got all kinds of people coming with all different kinds of stuff.
How many people do you expect? I'm sorry to keep interrupting you.
I hope a lot, because and just for the simple fact that I just want people to come out and see these cars that they never get to see, and just have fun. I mean, life, we learn as we get older that life is short, and spending time with your friends and doing something that you really love to do it's something that you need to do, spend time doing. So I don't really know how many people to expect, but I hope a lot of people come out and they have fun. That's what I want.
Right. Okay.
And so now, to finish up on tomorrow, tomorrow evening, we have the drive-in rented at Chaffee. And so
Rods and Reels.
That's called the Rods and Reels.
Okay.
And so we're going to open the gates right around 6 o'clock. And if you want a spot, all you people that drive your hot rods and your muscle cars and all that stuff, because that's what we're letting in. We want you to bring your old cars. I kind of suggest being there a little early, because the drive-in only holds a couple of hundred cars or so.
What movie?
Rebel Without a Cause.
Ah, yes,
so
James Dean.
So we have a James Dean movie,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much the movie will get watched as much as the bench racing will be going on. So.
That's Marlon Brando.
Nope, it's James
Is
Dean.
it okay?
Yeah,
Just make
it
sure
is.
I get my people right. All right.
And so that's the movie will be playing in the background. But what's cool is I've hired Allie Cotton, and she's a phenomenal media person, and so she's been helping me with this. And we're going to fly a drone around, and we're going to shoot the drive-in black and white. And so I'm really excited about that for our YouTube videos, because I can't imagine seeing that drive-in and 200 hot rods and muscle cars in there, and then this all shot in black and white. And
It'll be very nostalgic.
I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of money. It's $25 to get in per carload. So I don't care if you've got a 75 pickup truck and you want 10 people in the bed, it's $25 to get in.
Like
okay?
they used to. You'd
Just
stick them in the trunk.
Stick them in the trunk. I don't care. I just want people to come out and have fun and hang out with their friends and talk cars.
Yeah.
So that's our Friday night. That'll complete our Friday.
Okay, cool.
And so then on Saturday, we went ahead and we extended our dirt drags on Saturday. We're going to let people just make fun runs and that sort of stuff. So the dirt drag side will still be open.
Real quickly, let me make sure I tell people where is it?
Okay, so we're going to have this event. All of the event, except obviously movie night, all of the event is at Skelton Raceway in Sikeston, Missouri. That's the drag strip you actually see from the interstate.
Right.
There are 2 drag strips down there. One of them's in Benton. One of them's in Sikeston. And so
That one's just off the highway.
Yeah,
in
you can
Sikeston.
see it. It's right there to the west as you're traveling south on 55. So it's, you'll be able to see it right there. And the couple ways to get there, you can cut through Blodgett and then come back, or you can go to, it's either H or HH, I don't remember which one, and then come back. So, but that's where everything will be held. Once again, 8 o'clock, we're going to open the gates and let
It'll be
people
hard
in.
to miss if
It'll
you're
be hard
looking.
to miss. Yeah, it'll be hard to miss.
All right, so Saturday you got the,
Saturday's a big day.
Okay, Saturday you got the dirt racing again, and then what else?
Okay, so also we're gonna host a nostalgia drag race. So 80s model cars, drag race cars, front engine dragsters, rear engine dragsters, whatever anybody has that's considered 80s and older, they are welcome to come, and we would love to have them. So we have 2 classes for them. And then we have a class that's more street oriented. I call it foot brake, which is kind of a popular drag racing class.
Because you hold the brake,
yeah,
and you hit the
and
gas.
you don't have all the electronics and
Yeah.
all the other stuff, so they call it foot brake. And so that's for just us normal guys, you know. And so that's you pull up there and watch the tree and you take off. You don't have switches and buttons and computers and stuff. And so we have those 3 classes. And we'll run those classes both Saturday and Sunday. And also, like I said, the dirt drags will still be going on. But we also have a thing called Motorhead's Car Show. And so
and that's on.
and that's going to be on the east side of the racetrack. So that'll be between the drag strip and the interstate.
And
It'll be
that's
on
also
that side.
Saturday.
And that's also Saturday.
Okay.
And so once again, $25 per carload. I mean, if you want to load all your buddies in there and come in and enter your car in a car show, that's what we want.
This is just going to be a big car show featuring
great big
whatever's
car,
there.
Yeah, whatever's there. And
Well, let's go
so-
over some of these categories. We were talking about this beforehand.
Okay.
This is kind of fun. So just so people know, we can keep talking about it. But
Uh-huh.
you got original cars from 1900 to 1972. I won't go all over them. There's 18 different categories, but we'll hit some of the highlights. You got customs, modified trucks. You've got original Mustang / Cougars. That's awesome. I'd love that. You've got Mopar, Corvette. This is a fun one here. The Harley Davidson, any year up to 72. That's awesome. Harley 73 to 80. And then we were just talking about this one.
Yep.
Class 17 British bikes up
Yep.
to 1980. So like Triumph and
Yep.
Royal Enfield and
BSAs and all the cool
Yeah.
old British bikes. I hope guys get those out because there's a lot of guys in this area that have those bikes and nobody gets to see them. And that's really what I did this for, is for people to get their stuff out and bring it and put it on display. I mean, you've worked on that thing. You're proud of it. You've
yeah, I mean,
polished the
what's the
chrome,
point if people don't
bring-
get to appreciate
Bring
it?
it on out, and it's
Now, do
it's-
you get prizes? These are all
yeah,
categories?
I have trophies for every class, and there's 3 trophies for each class, and then I have some special awards too. And a couple of guys, Junior Swift and Toby Seaball, both of them good friends of mine, have built some custom trophies. And Ivy Powder Coating, Tony Ivy, has helped me. And Tony powder coated these in chrome powder coat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so these are special trophies, and I'm not going to give away. I'm not going to tell you what we're giving these away for, but you'll like to have one of these. They're pretty cool. So
Well, that's cool. So then, what happens after the car show?
okay, so a good friend of mine for many years, we've grown up together. Scott Slinkard has a band called Gen X. And they're very popular. They have a really good following of people that travel and come and see them. They're actually playing right there at the drag strip Saturday night. There's a stage there at the track. And that's still part of your $25 to get in. You get to see Gen X too. And so
Do you expect there might be some cold beverages?
there will be some there, I'm sure. Yeah. So
Some libations.
yeah. So it's something where you can come in basically at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. You get to watch nostalgia drag racing. You get to see dirt races, which you've never seen around here before. And then you get to see the car show and then a band plays a little bit later. The band is going to play somewhere between 7 and 8. It kind of depends on when the drag racing gets finished. So we'll adjust that schedule accordingly. We won't make them wait till 8 o'clock, so to speak. If we're finished at 6, then we'll move it up. That way people can still get home at a decent time also.
Sure.
So
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's a lot of fun. All of these things, if you're a car lover, they have to appeal to you. Just to go look,
Yeah.
to go appreciate some great cars. And
yeah.
I mean, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you've been dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
And then also doing this, and so you've done a good job. I mean, I know it's probably been a big challenge for you.
There's a lot of people, if we have time, I'd sure like to thank some of these people.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way I could have done it without these people. And I really want to make sure that people understand that this is not a one-man show. I get to sit here and get to talk to you, but there's a lot of people who's got their hands dirty and really
Hey, man, the
put
mic
their
is
heart,
yours.
put
Here,
the
let
heart
me-
and soul
let me
into them.
put-
So I'm going to go down a list here because I want to make sure I don't forget some of these people. So Larry Hull at Larry Hull Trucking in Old Appleton. I know you know Larry because his trucks are the cleanest trucks on the road. Every one of his trucks are waxed, the wheels are polished, the tires are clean. Larry's been. I just met Larry a couple of years ago, and he does some business with us there at the shop. But more so, he's been a friend, and I really appreciate him stepping up. And there was no question to ask when I asked him if he could help me a little bit, and he jumped right in.
Mm-hmm.
Junior and Jane Sin. Sin's used auto parts. Man, they're just fantastic people, both of them. They have huge hearts, and they wanted to make sure this thing went. and I really appreciate their friendship and their help. The people I'm listing first, these are my sponsors, my major sponsors for this weekend. Okay,
Sure.
Sprouse Management. Danny and Jonna are they both we build cars for them. We're the exclusive shop for them. They don't have anything done anywhere else, and so it's never a question if I need something. Danny makes sure that I get it, and he's gone out of his way to help me over the last 2 or 3 years to make sure that I had stuff that I needed, and that means a lot to me.
Well, the car community is a tight-knit community.
They're like that. There's very, very few people who you wouldn't want to be around.
Yeah.
And that says something about who we all are, you know. Bob Hathaway at Screen Arts. Bob's he was one of my first customers, and he does all of our T-shirt designs. Him and Mary do all of our T-shirt designs, and I can't wait for you guys to see these T-shirts. They are awesome. I didn't order a whole lot of T-shirts because of the money, and this is my first year doing this and everything. So if you think you want a T-shirt, be sure and get it. Don't wait, because they're probably going to sell out. And I mentioned Tony Ivy at Ivy Powder Coating. Tony does all of our high-end powder coating. There's more to powder coating than you think. So you can get something powder coated, but that doesn't mean it's show quality. And so we had some stuff done originally in our shop, and we weren't happy with what we were getting. And so Tony came along, and I explained it to him in detail what we wanted and why we needed that. And he right away, he said, I can handle this for you. And so he brings us what I consider to be a high-end powder coat product. And that means no dirt nibs and all that kind of stuff. It looks nice. It looks like it's been painted. And that's what we need for the cars we build, because these people are high-end. You know,
very picky. I would be.
Everything
for sure.
has to be as nice as everything else on the car. And Tony does that for us. Kaylee at Harley Davidson at Lawless, there was never a question that she was going to help. I talked to her the first time. Immediately we clicked, and she put a lot of time in this thing tonight. So I really would like everybody to jump on their bike or hop in their hot rod and come out tonight, and just once again enjoy the culture, the bike culture or the car culture. Rock and Roll Drive-In, Sarah, I've been talking with her and was able to secure the drive-in we did this like 5 months ago or 6 months ago, that we had planned this to make sure we had the drive-in for tomorrow night. And she helped a lot with making sure that all happened. And then I just got a few quick people here I need to say, to tell them I appreciate their help. So first of all, I told you about my guys at the shop.
Absolutely.
And my family, because my wife helps me unconditionally on this stuff.
And what's her name?
Joyce. Mm-hmm. And then my son, Alex, he travels a lot. A lot of people who know him, Alex actually he's the vice president of a large photography service, and they shoot all of the NHRA racing. And so Alex is the one that's in charge of making sure there's plenty of people at the racetrack to shoot the event. Mm-hmm. So he's the main guy there. And then my grandson and my granddaughter, Kevion and Myra, both of them help anything I need. They help me with it. So I want to thank them first of all. Okay, and then real quick here, Keith Robinette, Jason and Sarah Segura, Carrie Kesterson, Reagan Swan, John Hall. If you know John Hall, John is a complete show in amongst himself. So it's fantastic when somebody like him helps you, because it just makes the show that much better. I told you about Allie Cotton. She's my media girl. And then, of course, Judy Watson. And then I also want to thank Rick Horrell. And Rick is the president of the River City Rodders Car Club. Mm-hmm. The River City Rodders was established in 1977.
Done some stories with them.
Yeah, and they still have, I think it's 7 or 8 of their founding members from 1977 still have cars and still come to the shows. And so when I asked Rick for help with the car show, he jumped right in. He said, we can handle it for you. And so they're actually going to come down, and they're going to do the judging, and they're going to park, and they're going to do all that stuff. So they're basically treating the Motorheads car show as if it's one of their own. And I really appreciate them guys doing that, because I feel like I'm going to be spread so thin, I don't know how I would have done it without them.
Well, yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on,
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Like I said,
Yeah.
if you're a car person, I mean, this is going to be where it's at this weekend.
Yeah.
Let me read off this website for folks if you want to get some more information. Can they sign up on the website as well?
They can, but there's been some things changed since the website, so they can just pay at the gate. So if you have somebody that wants to drag race, they can just pay for whichever day they want, or we can sell them a weekend pass if they want to do that too, and all of that will be there available to them at the track.
So the website is gritspeedchallenge.weebly.com. That's
right.
WEEBLY.com. Gritspeedchallenge.weebly.com.
Right.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a lot of success. I mean, like I said, I mean, if you're a car person and you're hearing this interview, you got to be kind of foaming at the mouth a little bit to get out there. But
and the cool thing about these shows is you have people show up that you've probably never seen their cars before.
Yeah.
So although you may go to the local car shows and you do this and you do that, every time you go to something, there's always something new that you haven't seen. So the dirt drags, people have a little bit, they're not quite sure what to think about that. They don't know because it's new. Well, you'll see this weekend what it's all about. So if you come out on Friday and you watch the dirt drags, you go, man, that looks like fun. I should have brought my car. We'll bring it back on Saturday because we'll have it still on, and you can do it then. So this is just about having fun. There's not really a lot of rules here.
Now you've got a car, real quick. We're running out of time, but you got a car. What are you racing?
Okay, so
what's your shop racing?
Okay, so we have a 27 Roadster that we've been working on, and my guys are working feverishly right now to get it finished up. We'll probably start it here this afternoon for the first time. But it's a really low-slung car that was raced on the Salt at Bonneville, and it held some records there. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get a hold of that car. And
the Salt tracks at Bonneville is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
it's real flat.
Bonneville Salt flats, and so that's 7 miles wide open. So you can imagine it takes some nerve to do something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is a shop car kind of deal. We're putting it together. We're going to come out. Any of my guys that want to drive it, they can drive it. It's just something for fun. And then of course we'll have the wagon there. We've already got it cleaned up and basically ready to come down. So we'll have a couple of cars there. I mentioned John Hall a while ago. John's bringing several of his cars. So he's actually bringing a car that has not been seen in public for 20 years maybe longer than that.
What is it?
It's a truck that he built when he was 14 years old. And I believe John is 61 or 62 now. And he still has it.
Nice.
And so he's completely redone it. So if you remember John's truck from back when we were all running around, it'll be down there this weekend.
Very cool.
And so, but I appreciate you letting me come in and talk.
Absolutely.
And,
I'm glad you did. I'm glad
so
to have you. You know, I love cars. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Wade, again, Customs and Classics there in Fruitland. They do a great job. Are you still on a waiting list?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's grown a little more. But hiring 2 more people in the last couple of months, we're hoping to speed that process up. But we're somewhere between 2 and 3 years right now before we can take any more work.
I mean, if it's a good shop, that's pretty much everywhere, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate that. But what I appreciate is the people who are waiting. They've been put on the list, and they're saying, no, we want you guys to do our stuff, so we're going to wait. That means something to us.
Real quick before we go, I keep coming up with questions. Is there a car that's on the waiting list? You're like, oh man, I can't wait to get my hands on that one.
Well, we
I'm
actually,
sure there's a bunch.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, Ed Liscombe, we've already built one car for him and Michelle, and so it's a '57 2-door station wagon, but he wants it low slung. So we ordered a Roadster shop chassis, which is a super high end chassis. And the thing
that's a Chevy.
That is a Chevy, 57 Chevy, 2-door station wagon, and it's going to have it'll handle like a Corvette.
Yeah.
So that's one of them I'm excited about.
You don't see many of those wagons, do you?
Not many, and oddly enough, the next one is we have a 60 Nomad station wagon, and for people who don't know. And I didn't until I went and looked it up. They made Nomads in 1960, and they actually
that's a 2-door too.
They had them in 2-door, but oddly enough, they had them in 4-door.
I didn't know
and
that.
so I didn't know that either. And so we've got the 4-door version that we're building. We're putting an LS in it for the gentleman. He's from Poplar Bluff, and Dennis Young. And so those are 2 cars that are really cool, that are completely different from our wheelhouse cars.
Yeah.
So, but the guys can handle it. It won't be a problem. They'll knock it out of the park with
Those
us.
will be fun. You know, you can throw a bunch of stuff in the back of those, take a road trip, and I mean, you got the best car on the road. So.
Yeah.
All right, we are out of time, everyone,
Okay.
but I want to thank Wade for coming in. Once again, let me do the website one more time here, gritspeedchallenge.weebly.com.
Right.
And until next time, I am Jeff Cunningham. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the flip side.